Welcome to the Fireside Chat for Fitness and Nutrition with Adrienne and Ken. Please remember to like and subscribe for our newest content. And today we're going to be talking about happy feet, happy eats. So some foot exercises that you can do and how not to let junk food trip you up. Ken, would you like to kick us off today?
I would, Adrienne, yes. So I'm going to show you 5 movements, can be stretches, combination of stretches and exercises to help with feet and / ankle mobility and flexibility and strength. The first thing I'm going to have you do is, let's see, let me push that down a little bit so you can see. It's just a stretch for the bottom of your feet. This is going to really be nice for mobility and for the fascia of the bottom of the feet, especially if you have like plantar fasciitis. It's good for that. Cross one ankle over the other knee. Go ahead and grab the end of the foot and just pull. You're just going to pull the big toe and the small toes up towards you. And that's going to stretch the bottom of your feet right here. You feel the tension. I don't know if you can see my foot tightening up or not, but it is. So it's just flexing. You're going to hold this for 30 seconds to a minute. You can do it 1 to 3 times on each side. At least 3 times a week, maybe more if your feet are tight. That will help. And you can do it on both feet, of course. The next exercise I'm going to have you do are, you can do it one of 2 ways: ankle circles, and this is just going to increase the range of motion in your ankles, the flexibility, and just the circulation, improved circulation in the bottom, in your ankles and feet. So what you'll do is you put your feet together, or actually on the first one you put your feet together, and imagine you have a magic marker in between your big toe. 2 big toes, and you're just going to grab the magic marker, and you're going to make write the alphabet out in big block letters as big as you can. So that's B, C. But now look, I'm not using make sure you don't use your knees to do it. So I'm just using my ankle. My knees are locked. So this is A, B, C, and D, and so forth. And then you just go through the whole alphabet, and that kind of gives you a good way to increase circulation. That's a good thing to do when you're traveling on a trip on a plane or in a car, and you feel that your muscles are kind of tired or so. This kind of rejuvenates you, gets the muscles tightened, and pushes the blood back up into your heart and so forth. So it helps with that. Okay. Another exercise to do, I'm going to push this down even further, is to do like foot scrunches. So all you'll do is imagine you have a towel and just bring that towel to you. And you can do this often during the day. And this works the intrinsic muscles at the bottom of the feet. Yeah. So these muscles right in here, they're on the bottom. And we hardly ever work those, but this helps. And if you want to make this harder, you can actually put a towel on the floor. You can't do it on the carpet, but you can do it on a wood floor or a tile floor. Put a towel here and just grab it and pull the towel towards you. It's really hard to do on carpet. It really doesn't move because of the friction of the carpet. But that's a good exercise to do for the bottom of your feet. Another exercise you can do, I'm going to just tilt this up just a tiny bit, everybody knows calf raises. So I'm just going to use this as balance. I'll grab onto something for support. You go up to raise your toes. I'll stand to the side. Let me pull up my pants here just for a second, so you can see what I'm doing. Can you see my heels are off the ground? Yeah. Then what you do is you go down and you lift your toes up, and then go up, and then go down and lift your toes up. So what that does is it works your calves, and it works your shins, what's called your anterior tibialis muscles. And then that works the whole complex, the front and back. So might as well get them both at the same time. And then heels, and then toes. And then last but not least you want to stretch out what you just worked. The calf stretch is step back with 1 foot. This knee is locked straight. The front knee is bent. And just lean forward. Both feet are pointing straight forward. And you just lean forward until you feel the stretch right here. And you're just going to hold for 30 seconds to a minute on each side. And then what you'll do to stretch your shin, you kind of get in the same position, but you point your toe and just kind of drag your foot a little bit forward until you feel the stretch right here. Hardly anybody does that stretch either, but that's a very effective flexibility and mobility exercise for your shin. And those are 5 movements / stretches / exercises for your ankles / feet. Do you have any questions, Adrienne?
Not so many. It's not so much questions as like I think it's important to add this in. Where would you suggest, like before bed or just as part of people's workout routine? Like remember to take care of your feet and ankles.
Yeah. That's a good question. So you could do it every day if you only use your body weight. You can do it every day. Like say, for instance, before you go to bed, it's a good idea. It'll help, especially if you get muscle cramps in your lower leg, below your knee. That would be a very good idea to do all those things. It'll take maybe 5-6 minutes to do everything. And if you limit the stretches to 30 seconds or so each side, and that would be a good thing to do in between or right before you go to bed. If you want to use it as a warm up for your lower body, before you do heavy calf raises or so, say for instance you put weights on your shoulders or something. If you're at the gym, you could do that as a warm up too. So, but if you want to do it just as an everyday mobility thing, you could do it before you go to bed or when you first get up. Right after you get up, you can do that too. Kind of warm up a good start to the day. So, good question.
And I also think it could work while you're like standing in line, like the calf raises and the stretches. Like you can do that when you're standing in line at the grocery store instead of like looking at our phones. We can be doing something else,
You could. That's a very, very good idea. Yeah.
And I think it's just important for people to remember there are more bones in our feet than we expect. I forget what it is, like 25%, something ridiculous. Like there's
a lot of bones in your feet. Yeah.
and our feet do the hardest job. They keep us balanced and moving forward. So we don't show them enough love. And hopefully these exercises will really encourage people to give their feet and ankles a little bit more love. We could all use more of that.
There you go.
And also, we don't want junk food to trip us up. I'm working on those feet and everything, but
I like that.
It's hard. The allure of junk food is it's undeniable, whether it's the crinkle of a chip bag before you're about to break into it, or whether it's driving past the glow of those golden arches. It's extremely easy to fall into the trap of convenience and cravings. But while these foods might be designed to taste amazing, because they do, they wreak havoc on our health, our energy levels, and our long-term wellness goals. So what we want to do is try to break free of the junk food cycle that we're in, not just using willpower, but by using smarts, swaps, all that kind of stuff. And I think one of the things to address first is why and how this junk food trips us up. And part of the reason is because it is designed to hit like all of the right notes in our brain, like salty, sweet, crunchy, creamy. It's a sensory experience that is amazing. It's like a neurotransmitter party. Who doesn't want that? Kale doesn't necessarily deliver the same thing. And unfortunately, it is a nutritional black hole though. So you get all this neurotransmitter party going, but what you're left with is like the end of the party. It's like the cleaning up, the empty calories, the unhealthy fats that now your body has to deal with, the added sugars. And the ingredients that are included in this junk food can spike and crash our blood sugar, which leaves us tired and irritable. Not so great. It fuels inflammation, which can contribute to chronic conditions like heart disease, arthritis, things we want to avoid. And also it crowds out the nutrient-rich foods that we could be having for our body to thrive instead. So like I said, everybody's going to be using willpower, in the early part of the year. But what's smarter is that we make some swaps. And the key isn't deprivation. It's about smart substitution. So some ideas to transform your cravings into more healthful choices might be having, if you're craving salty snacks, some air popped popcorn, maybe with a sprinkle of nutritional yeast, or you can have some roasted chickpeas. Those are actually pretty delicious, and those are pretty available in bags on the grocery shelves right now. If you like sweet things, try to have dark chocolate, not milk chocolate. And also fresh berries, apples with almond butter, those can actually be a very satisfying fix for a sweet tooth. And if you want something creamy, instead of having things like queso dip or ranch dip with, your vegetables if one were
Right.
to do that. I would do guacamole instead. In fact, a lot of times you can even get those guacamole like serving size, individual serving size. You could even bring it to work with you. You can also do things like hummus or some yogurt-based dressings. That'll get you a little bit more protein too. And of course, part of this, we can make the swaps, but we also need a plan to have the healthy stuff on hand. So having our kitchen full of nutrient-dense options, having nuts and seeds and fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains like quinoa salad just kind of waiting for us, helps us make healthier decisions when the snack time strikes, or if you are just getting a little bit hungry before dinner, you're not going off the rails by eating candy. You're having something that is actually better for you. And of course, part of this too, and it's hard because we're always like looking at our phones to do stuff, I would try more mindful eating. That helps us connect with our hunger cues and appreciate the flavors and textures of real food. The neurotransmitter party happens with the junk food, but a lot of times we can taste sweetness in kale or even cranberry juice when we're actually paying attention to it. And having this awareness can help us make better choices and feel more satisfied so we don't overeat. And just remember, in general, this is not about perfectionism. It's about making progress. Less junk food, more healthy food. And that way you get the nourishment that energizes and sustains you for the long haul. Any questions, Ken?
I do. What is the difference between almond butter and peanut butter?
It's just the different nut usually
So
used.
you could use peanut butter with an apple instead of almond butter with an apple. That would be okay.
Or cashew butter,
Oh yeah, yeah.
sunflower butter. So many different nut butters out there now
Okay,
that used to
okay.
not exist.
So any one of them, is pretty much okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's mainly people switch over to like almond butter if they have a person in their family with peanut allergy, for
Got
example.
it. Okay,
Uh,
thank you.
any other comments or questions?
No, good information. Thank you.
All right, any parting comments, Ken?
Consistency. Do something.
It's true. And just pick one thing. If you're going to make a swap from your, let's say, queso dip today to hummus, that will add up over the course of a year. It will add up over the course of 10 years. So just pick one thing and try to do it a little bit better than you did yesterday. And we'll see you all next week. And remember, again, like and subscribe. And if you like what we're doing in this channel, please consider supporting us. There's a link in the description below. We'll see you all soon. Take care.
Bye.